Hi, I'm Tracy Swedlow, and this is Televisionation. I am very excited to have the eminent Joonyoung Park, who is VP and Fellow at a South Korean company called DigiCAP. DigiCAP sponsored our last show in New York, and they're doing lots of amazing stuff with ATSC 3.0. And Joonyoung also was very kind to let me know how they're doing alerts over there, because in South Korea, you are much more advanced in everything to do with taking care of your people. So tell me how you are and what it's like over there in South Korea. Where are you, in Seoul? Are you in Seoul?
Yes, I'm living in Seoul. It's the Koreans all the residents and businesses are all kind of mixed within the metropolitan area. So I'm in the center of the city, and yes, if I see out there, obviously very less car than before, but the peoples are they're getting to work and getting to business. I would say, well, of course, everybody taking the mask, right? They're wearing the mask, and then I would say maybe 60% of that it used to be in terms of business activity and then people activity, I guess. Yeah.
But you're not as completely shut down like we are in the United States, right? I mean, the economy is going haywire.
Yeah, not at all. We never shut down. We never shut down the airport. People are kind enough to wearing their mask and then, taking the distance. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we need your help over here because all of the kids are, at home, relying on their parents to homeschool them, or relying on Google Classroom, or relying on, their own initiative to try and study. So we want to understand the work you're doing at DigiCAP with ATSC 3.0 and what you're doing there for the company. But maybe you should tell us a little bit about what DigiCAP does. And then specifically, let's go into this initiative to bring ATSC 3.0 services to online education, or through, television and other methods, right?
Right. So DigiCAP is a software company, and we've been doing business for about the 25 years already here in Korea. And our the major business is DRM here in Korea. So especially DRM and ATSC 3 head-end equipment. So as you know, Korea started the USD services based on ATSC 3 2017. Starting from that the Winter Olympics.
Amazing.
Right. So
way ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So we provide the not only head-end equipment but also the DRM technology. So all the USD contents are protected. And Korea also has unique the mobile the broadcasting. We call it DMB. All the mobile phones and the handheld devices inside the cars. Doing the broadcasting based on that technology. We also provide the equipment and the DRM technology as well. And then,
do people subscribe to those services through their local broadcaster, or what's the customer relationship between, or how they get that data, that entertainment, those networks? Is that with their local broadcaster or with some other entity?
Well, it's a local broadcasting, and then also there are few companies they license the channel and then provide there's the programming services, right? When I say local broadcasting, there are traditional terrestrial broadcasting companies actually the broadcasting their program over that DMB channels, and also there are value added the broadcasters like the home shopping channels or other channels. All their how they they do the business, they all do the advertisement insertion into that their channels. So that's how they make money. Yeah.
Wow. And it's available to everybody in the country?
Yes, it's a terrestrial. DMB is over the terrestrial, so it's available to pretty much everybody who has whoever have that DMB terminal. So the phones from the Samsung and LG are the big telephone equipment manufacturers. Most of their phones equipped with that the DMB tuners inside of their phones. So
did the government subsidize this to get it out the door so quickly, or not?
well, in some sense, of course, in Korean government is a big the supplier of that subsidies to expedite the R&D because before the DMB is commercially available, Korean government was a big sponsor to do R&D to accelerate that development. And then since then, I believe government is pretty much off their hands, so that commercial businesses do their business on top of their platform and the technology. So that's how most of Korean technology works here.
Well, it's sometimes that you have to do that.
Yeah.
I wish we would learn that lesson a little bit. Okay, so tell me a little bit about this initiative to bring online education, and programming through ATSC. I know you have a presentation to show us at some point when you're ready.
Yeah, so I can do that. Yes, I'm gonna share this slide here. Okay. Obviously, we do ATSC 3, the business, also in the US. So
I think you have to make the whole screen available or something too.
I do.
However, yeah.
Okay. So yes, because today, obviously, a lot of people, working from home and then study from home, right? Because of such shutdown. So I thought, if we had the ATSC 3.0 or NextGen TV deployed maybe 1 year earlier, we might be better off to use this technology.
Yes,
so that's how it started.
It's interesting because here, like in San Francisco, specifically, I don't know about the rest of the country, but there was a big delay between the time they actually shut down the schools and the time they started online education, because a lot of kids don't have computers or don't even have access to the internet. We take that for granted, a lot of us who work in this field, right? But there are a lot of people. So there was a huge sort of I guess Google somehow either sold or gave or donated. I don't know how that happened, but somehow Google gave the SFUSD, San Francisco Unified School District, a lot of Chromebooks. So now that so it's that problem of getting this education to the kids somehow, and I know that this potentially will help solve that problem. So go ahead.
I would say the ATSC 3 this can solve all the problem, right? So that's why I call it here humbly help, right? Because eventually we need the internet everywhere. We hope. Right, and then everywhere, and then everybody afford that internet connectivity. Even in Korea, Korea is the most advanced in terms of the fiber optics penetration. It's a 70% of penetration, more than 70% actually, but it's the still only less than 5 people out of 50 people out of the 100 people can afford and can subscribe to that fiber optic or the high speed internet access. Meaning that still around 5 or 6 people not able to enjoy that high speed internet connectivity, even though we have a 70% in the penetration of that technology. It's because a lot of economical reasons, right? So like you said, we take we the people the working in industry, we all take it granted that but we have to expand our the eyes to support the other side of the the people in in this country.
Right.
So so the idea is that how do we help? Because the internet connectivity is just the interactive, right? So it's also costly. So we thought the broadcast technology, especially the new features the ATSC 3.0 promised and then they showed can really help the not only the broadcasting the digital video and audio, but also we can add the interactivity on top of it if we use it very cleverly. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the title. So like I said, the our target is not the providing internet connectivity everybody. It's our target is in a way it's very limited. Our target is to supply interactivity on the online the education services. I know that the Los Angeles Unified School District, they started to use PBS broadcasting to deliver the online education, but that's only a one way. It's broadcasting,
right?
Because that's based on ATSC 1. So. Right. So the idea is that how do we provide the interactivity using the ATSC 3? So to those who have very limited internet access from home, like even the 10 megabps internet services, we can make that interactivity possible. People think that 10 megabps is also maybe very good in terms of that the speed. But it's think about it, as we shut down, right? Mom and father, the dad, and the other, the family members, also, sharing the same, the internet bandwidth, right? So.
Yes, I have to tell everybody not to turn on their movies around here, so I can work.
True. Right, so that's the situation. So 10 megabps is not enough, for 4-member families or 5-member families to do their usual work while shut down, right? And also those who live in the rural area, far away from the metropolitan area, right? They also have very limited internet access. So that's the situation. So I was very surprised that actually when I get the LA the unified district the press release that 80% of students that in the school district live under the poverty, and then they do not have the good internet services, right? So that's the situation we are today, right? Okay, so
I guess is this something that you might be able to bring to the United States though anytime soon, or this is?
Yes, we are in the trial, in a couple of places already. Okay, so that I can get to that quickly.
Okay.
And then yes,
sounds good.
Not only just one way. Our target is trying to put it the interactive. Okay, so that's the situation here. So I'm explaining the way it is today. So today, when we are talking about online education, right, it's all they're based on internet interactivity, interactive communication. It's online education services. There are a very good online the educational service providers today. The Khan Academy is a very good example. They just make it the free, but all those in interactive the online education services, you need at least in the interactive the broadband the connectivity. It's a 1.5 the 3 megabps bandwidth you need to use that connectivity, right? Under the some circumstances, of course, 1.5 megabps, if you have DSL, at least you have a DSL services, you can get to that. But always we need a more bandwidth than just 1.5 the internet services, right? And then that limit the bandwidth limitation that people use as internet services, that limits the kids from getting into that the online education services, right? With that the bandwidth.
Right, absolutely.
Of course, there is also a price issue. Of course, the people, the affluent people, like us, maybe the even $30 per month, seems to be very affordable. But again, there are
it all adds up. You have so
right.
many, so many
right.
things you have to pay for.
So ATSC 3, basically, it is we designed it to deliver the internet traffic over the terrestrial networks. That's very good, platform, because the point is that there are the already interactive applications in the internet, so we don't necessarily change or convert it to deliver it over the terrestrial network. We can just use the IP platform as it is, and then we can put it on top of ATSC 3, then we can deliver that. So that's the beauty of the way we designed the ATSC 3. Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
So here's the our idea is that, okay, how do we deliver that in the HTML and JavaScript, those interactive the packaging or interactive the online programs over the internet, while we my kids over the internet, while we're not changing it. So we're introducing a small device here. It's less than 100. It's
Homecaster.
Yeah, so we call it Homecaster. It's basically the home gateway device. It has the ATSC tuner in it, and also it has the Ethernet connectivity. So you can connect the antenna, and also you can connect the that Ethernet to your home router. Okay, so with that device, this device actually working as a not only the ATSC 3 receiver, but also a small the CDN inside your home, so that you don't necessarily go out to the internet to get all the internet the content. For example, here I just mark it as 1, 2, 3, 4. So the educators can can create a package. It's basically HTML package, HTML, JavaScript, and then
everything can sort of be stored there and work there in a more complex storage computer. It's almost like a little mini server in your home, right?
Right. Correct. Yeah.
Right.
So we can package, for example, Khan Academy, the HTML and video and then JavaScript together, and then create
delivered at night or something.
Correct. Yeah, we can create a zip file, and then we can make it through the ATSC the broadcasting chain. ATSC has the technology called NRT, non-real-time delivery. So it's not the real-time the delivery, but we can make it overnight. So I did it in a very the rudimentary calculation. For example, let's say we can package maybe one session like the a multiplication or the division the class in the Khan Academy, and make it into 10 megabps, 10 megabytes in a package, right? If we
and you just sort of request when you sign up for the class, you say, okay, I want this content, and it'll deliver it to you in packets or something at a convenient time.
Right.
Can you tell it? Can you tell it when that convenient time is, or does it look for downtime?
Yeah, so we can make it the convenient time, or all the broad out of, let's say within the 6 megahertz channel. So if we allocated at least 1 or 2 megabps the NRT channel, for example, to deliver 100 megabytes package, maybe in 3 repetition, we can deliver that in 100 megabytes package within less than an hour, right? So because the education is not necessarily super real time, right? So you can schedule for example, class 1 or class 2 and class 3 when those classes deliver to that to your kids in your home, right? So we can schedule that like the programming, so that way we don't necessarily use the huge amount of the bandwidth to deliver the 100 meg or another 200 meg, maybe 100 meg the online packages, all the way down to that this Homecaster type of device, right?
I mean, how much would a particular show or, episode from Khan Academy really need to, how big would it actually be? And you're getting the video through the tuner. So how 100 megabytes is not exactly large. So, but maybe these episodes, aren't that big. Maybe the graphics they contain, the interactivity, the HTML, they aren't that big.
Not that big. Also
Okay.
the Khan Academy did a very good job to make the video the compressed, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So 100 megabytes came from, because actually I have it in the second grade kid, right? So now he's doing I did it in the calculation with my kid. Actually, I gave I actually download all the video and the and an HTML package from the Khan Academy for a specific course. Maybe in a combining 2 or 3 course, it goes around the 100 megabyte each packages. So that's how my calculation came. And then once that package is received inside of the that storage device, right? Because here
Homecaster.
The proposal is that we don't change anything on that this is the already existing online platform, right? So meaning that you still need a the Chromebook or a small tablet, your computers anyway, still, right, to watch the video and the YouTube video and the HTML the application, right? So we know that the packages are delivered right here in the HTML and the package is delivered here. So you can use your computer normally, and for example, you can just type the URL in a Khan Academy, right? Then the request goes to the Khan Academy, but Khan Academy knows already that that course you asking, you requesting is already in within that Homecaster. As I told you, Homecaster here working as a CDN, right? So even today, to deliver the Khan Academy to your home, we use the the many CDNs in between, right? So that actually the content is not directly coming from Khan Academy. Actually, the content is coming from somewhere
in the cloud.
In the cloud, in the CDN. So we're using that Homecaster device exactly the same way. So you request
an assembler, an assembler.
Right. You request the the Khan Academy package, then Khan Academy tell your computer that, hey, the content package you're asking is already inside of your home, right? Then the computer has redirected the request to your this Homecaster, then receive the HTML and the YouTube the video content directly from Homecaster device, meaning that you don't necessarily need from that point, you don't necessarily need the internet connectivity at all to the watch that course or the one course, 2 course during that the scheduled time.
I mean, this is stored content. Can this also work for live streamed content?
Of course, it has a tuner in it, right? So we can schedule the time. We can also deliver the live content as well. So depending on how you making the application, we can mix. Everything is based on HTML, right? So we can mix not only store the content, we can mix but mix the live content as well to the HTML the content.
And where do you get a Homecaster from, or in your proposal? Do you get it from your local broadcaster? Would they become or do you buy, who do you rent that from, or do you buy that separately?
One way is that we can make it into like a Best Buy, right?
Right,
retail,
of course, yeah.
right? And then also, like you said, it's a very good way for the local school district if they can distribute, because I know that today, the homeschool or the online education package, right? So if you go to the school district, they give you in a package, the Chromebook and the reading and learning material and other tools as well. Sometimes the iPad as well. So with that package, you can if school district can deliver this a small device in addition to their the package, I think that's also a very nice way to distribute this device as well.
And is there another slide about this, or are you going to tell us about the trials?
Not yes. Yet? Almost done. Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
So the benefit is that, right?
Yes.
So it's, it doesn't really add any cost because we're using the broadcasting, and then ATSC 3 we still figure out to make it into commercial services, because the DRM is not perfectly solved yet. So education content, we are less the issue with the DRM. So it's we're all working for public goods. So I hope right. So the people less
less barrier.
Yeah, let's keen on the DRM. So we can do it pretty much quickly this type of services. Yeah. If we industry decided to do this, right? And then this one is just a little bit explanation of that the device. It's a very simple device, okay, and it has a little bit storage, and then it is capable to receive the live and then the non-real-time content as well, right? So the trial, we have been in the trial with the Sinclair on this device, but not specifically on the online content. Okay, so but we have been testing this device in the live stream reception and NRT reception. So technology perspective, we have been the approved that that's working not only the ATSC 3, but also it can also receive the ATSC 1 content as well. Yeah.
Is this some news content with Sinclair?
Yeah. Right now we're testing with Sinclair. Sinclair. Right, it's in their lab. Maybe the content could be varies.
Sinclair, always seems to be very proactive about this kind of stuff. Right. We just spoke to Scott Ehrlich,
right,
over there,
right, and then
2 days ago,
right.
About all this.
It's not just limited to Sinclair, right? The PBS and local broadcastings are pretty much the local based, right? Every local have their own school district, right? So that school district, I believe,
is this part of the Phoenix trials or some of the other trials going on around the country?
Well, this Homecaster device we distributed in multiple places. In the Phoenix trial, we tested that, and also MPG-Co. We just made the this Homecaster device to MPG-Co lab, and then we're testing it now. Yeah.
Sounds good. You're so on the ball, Joonyoung. You guys.
Great, thanks. Yeah.
See my impartiality. No, I'm happy to hear this when people take the initiative to put this kind of technology out there that will help people. And so, what's the next step? Do you need to just get more results back from these trials, or are you waiting for a customer to sign up for it? I mean, like, where are you on the spectrum of getting this in the market, do you think? How long do you think it'll take?
So right now, we are in discussion with the Jim DeCant and the MPG-Co, and then we
with who?
Jim DeCant, MPG-Co, and Santa Barbara.
Okay, I didn't hear what you said. What was that word? Was that a broadcaster?
MPG-Co, it's a broadcaster.
Okay.
Yeah, Santa Barbara area.
Okay, great.
And the RAPA is a Korean agency in promoting this ATSC 3. So, so RAPA and us and MPG-Co, right now we are working together to show this, the online education possible. Okay, so up until today, like I said, we made the device or the head-end equipment in the lab. So until yesterday, we tested that the end-to-end chain is the up and working now, and then we are right now we are working to create a small sample content like like a Khan Academy or other online the content. We're working with the local the people in the Santa Barbara area, so that later we can show this end-to-end the online education with limited the interactivity possible. So we're going to show that. Yes, that's what we are doing right now.
That's very exciting. Do you think you'll be able to roll it out to that it gets onto people's phones as well, or would this just be something that's reliant on the Homecaster?
Yes, phone. Yes.
Could you pull up the Khan Academy on your phone on a ATSC? Well, I guess you couldn't because you don't have tuners inside them.
Right. So idea is that as long as you can use your phone inside a home where the Homecaster is installed.
Right.
So you can get to you can use the Wi-Fi, right?
Yes.
The Khan Academy is based on HTML, so it's not limited to any device as long as you can get the connectivity, right?
Is Khan Academy involved in this trial with you, or you're just using their content? Are they,
No, I have no contact to Khan Academy, so I just use their content to experiment it right now.
It'd be great to involve them in a discussion to see what they'd like to do.
Yeah.
They affect so many kids' lives. I know my daughter's doing it every day.
Right.
Part of what she's being asked to do.
Yeah.
So what's is there anything else coming out soon that might enhance this service that hasn't been, that you can hint to?
That's what I just said, with the MPG code, the working together. That's the latest one, for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I can, I like to make it faster. That's limitation I do have today. Well, whoever watching this later on, I really want to work with the local the school district as well, so we can show and tell that's really possible today, right?
Mm-hmm.
It just matters to bring local broadcasters in that the mix together, right? Yeah, so we can make it happen. I think within less than a month or two, we can make this work. Actually, we can show something's working. I'm really excited to do some the contribution in that situation. Right?
I mean, so you think you could, if you spoke to like the San Francisco Unified School District and said, I've got this service, wouldn't you have to, you'd have to get these devices manufactured very quickly,
right,
but it would take maybe like a few months or something? I mean, you never know. I might be able to speak to somebody. I'm not sure, but I'm just saying, I hope it succeeds, but
right,
it could probably get up and running fairly quickly, at least as a trial, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Well, I hope that you're well over there in general, and we hope to see you back here. We're very interested in these topics, not only ATSC but education, and as you can see, television and education is becoming so important now, right? It's becoming. I don't even think it's going to go away. My guess is that this potentially could go on for months. I'm not sure. So there'll be time to get this in the market.
Right. It's not just a one-time thing. I really think that the education, it has to be broadly and generally available to everybody and every kid, right? It's it's very sad that there are still the kids not able to get into the at least I'm not the I don't have any money, I don't get any money from Khan Academy, so but it's something like that is very important. It actually impacts the kids' life in the end, right? So we need to make such a things available to all the kids, right, for the future.
I agree. As they say, from your lips to God's ears. I don't know. Who knows? Thank you so much, Joonyoung. I really appreciate this. You're doing good work for humanity.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Hope to see you soon. Maybe
Right.
be involved later in our event this summer. We'll see. And I just I appreciate it. I appreciate your, like I said, thanks so much.
Right.
This is Tracy Swedlow and Televisionation with Joonyoung Park, who's a VP over there taking the initiative to bring ATSC 3.0 to the world of education, to make the world a better place. Thank you so much.
All right. Great. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you for, yeah.